SEO is not easy. Yeah, it's probably not what you were looking for, but it's the truth. Anybody that tells you SEO is easy, they're lying. Welcome everybody, episode number 8 of First Page or Die podcast. This is the hardcore struggle and journey to show up on the first page of Google or face death. That's right. The purpose of this podcast is to help businesses like you understand why you must show up on the first page of Google or die. That's right. I'm your host, Rob Pacinelli. Thanks for watching. As always, please share, comment, like, subscribe. Be greatly appreciated, and let me know what you want to hear for the upcoming episodes. Today is a special edition. This is the SEO Hack Tip and Trick Edition. You got it. Today you're going to get an amazing SEO hack tip and trick. And we're basically going to discuss how you can get a first page ranking by using a keyword-rich domain. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Before we jump into that, let's all get some, smiles on our face, because I find that we learn better when we're happy, when we're smiling. So what do black hat SEOs put in their Thanksgiving turkey? Keyword stuffing. Yeah, if anyone knows what keyword stuffing is, you'll agree. Yeah, it is a cheesy joke. I got to get some better resources here for sure. But today we're going to talk about, and I'm going to show a live example of this in action. So everything I'm telling you today, we're actually going to do a live demonstration in action. So right after this episode, I'm going to actually apply everything I'm telling you today, so you're going to see a live example created out of this episode. So the intention here is to see how quick we get to that first page ranking, how fast, all the moving parts involved, etc. So not only am I telling you, I'm going to show you this in action. How does this work? Simple. Number one, you're going to select a keyword-rich domain. What does that mean? Simply, we're going to select a high volume traffic keyword, very specific to attracting your ideal audience. And this can be, so we're in Canada here, so we got two ideal options for a domain. You got a .ca domain, country specific, and then also the .coms work well. And I would stick to just those two, your country specific domain and also the .coms. They're applicable worldwide. In this case, we're going to use the following domain, which is it's a very competitive keyword, a very competitive industry. This is the domain Toronto Video Production. TorontoVideoProduction.ca is the domain. We actually just purchased it over this weekend, and it's a very targeted domain. So if you type in that keyword, Toronto Video Production, there's currently 770 searches every month in Google for that keyword. So my intention, our goal here is to get ranked number one ideally, but on the first page of Google as quick as possible for that keyword phrase. Obviously, once you get to that page, it's going to do a great job to bring that user the information it needs and potentially get them to contact us or leave their information for contact. Typically, when you do an SEO, if you've ever done this or if you've thought about it, this is how it goes. Yeah, when you're creating your plan, everything sounds great. I can't wait to get to the first page of Google. You understand how important it is, and you realize it's the pot of gold. 70% of all traffic clicks on the organic listings and 30% click on the ads. So you can see how important it is to rank on the first page organically and not through paid ads. So typically you start you're planning your SEO, creating your blueprint, whatever you want to call it. It starts with a list of keywords. So let's say we have 10 keywords you come up with, and you're going to target those 10 keywords. Make sure they're very targeted for your ideal audience, and make sure they have decent traffic. So we take this list, and now we say, okay, we're going to optimize our website. So you take these 10 keywords and you start updating your website strategically. I would highly suggest you assign each keyword to one page on your website. Unless they're very closely related, you can group them together for the same page. And then, you follow the typical strategies and techniques I talked about a few episodes earlier. We'll quickly highlight them. Create a URL with the keyword. Create title tags, description tags, keyword tags, H1 tags, body text, and then even alt tags. All of this should contain the keywords and related keyword phrases. Do not over-optimize. Do not use the exact same keyword phrase more than once, and especially that keyword, Toronto video production. Don't use only that more than once. There should be a lot of different variations, etc. It must look natural to Google. Day 2 comes along and you start continuing to optimize your website. Day 3, you're continuing, and now you're losing a little bit of the spark you had at the beginning because the work is tedious. It is hard. Day 4 comes along, maybe you finished all of your website optimization. Now all those 10 keywords are on your website, you're optimized. But now the heavy lifting begins. On page is the easiest, off page is the hardest. So now you start building links back, and now you create your social media accounts, link them to your website, and you're going to other people's websites asking for links, or maybe there's other directories you want to post your website onto to drive and create those links back. And now day 5 comes, day 6, and you're continuing to do this. And now this is long and tedious. Now you're contacting all these other websites to get your link on there, linking back to your website. Get creative, do whatever you need to do, and then you're constantly having to check back with them, see if they've added the link. Sometimes they're going to agree by email, but they don't actually get to work and get that link added, etc. So it gets very draining, very tedious, very challenging. By day 10, 2 weeks into it, 14 days later, it becomes a real drag, and you continue to do the same thing over and over, contacting the same website owners, reminding them, making sure, and then successfully you're starting to get some wins. Some people are actually posting your link live, but then you need to make sure it stays live. Now every month you need to check these links, make sure they stay live, or use a tool to check them automatically. So by the end of the first month, 90% of the people give up because they realize how much work is involved, and still no benefits are received. There's no first page rankings, and this work continues for at least 6 months. That's right. You're going to be doing this all the time until you actually start to get ranked, to get some traffic. So that's when you make your ROI, if you want to call it, but it's long term. So you can see how painful and how tedious this gets. Not easy, but it's a long-term commitment you need to make. If you're going to start SEO, commit long-term, or don't waste your time. That's my suggestion to you. So that's typically how things go. A lot of people give up. They start strong. They die off quick. Here are some amazing, interesting facts you need to know, and this will put into perspective the power of SEO and organic traffic. So fact. The first position in Google organically has a 34% click-through rate. The first organic position in Google, not the paid ads, I'm talking just below the maps, the first position has a 34% click-through rate overall. So if you're ranking number 1 on Google for a specific keyword, you're going to get the benefit of getting 34% of total traffic. That's more than all of the ads combined, the paid ads. Paid ads typically get 30%. You're going to get 34% by being ranked number 1 on Google and not having to pay every time someone clicks. There can't be a better situation than that. Fact number 2, 70% of search engine results click on the organic listings. We talked about that. Fact number 3, the cost of inbound leads is 61% less than outbound leads. 61% less. So if you're getting inbound leads from organic or SEO, you're going to be paying 61% less. So or inbound organic traffic is much cheaper to get in the long term. So people have a tendency to think, wow, SEO is so expensive, but truly provides you with a long-term result and the best cost per lead in the end. So it actually is saving you money. Fact number 4, 90% of users don't go past the first page. Hence, First Page or Die podcast. Fact number 5, 89% of users are more likely to visit your website if you are on the first page. It just represents authority. It represents trust. If Google's going to rank your website on the first page, people automatically trust you and think you're an authority in terms of the keyword that they search. So it's amazing the benefits. And as Neil Patel said, literally in one of his blog posts, so this is a word for word quote: if you don't land on the first page, you can say hasta la vista to any potential leads. If you don't rank on the first page, you can say hasta la vista to any potential leads. And we all know what hasta la vista means, right? It came from Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator movie. Hasta la vista, baby. So if you want leads, you better make sure you're landing on the first page for some targeted keywords. Yeah, you got it. Search into Google the best VPN. So this is a service that I like to use to keep my internet browsings private and secure. So it's VPN, Virtual Private Network. So if you type in the best VPN, you will see the organic rankings, probably three or four search results down, thebestvpn.com. It's a great example of how to use this strategy properly. They're actually applying it, and it's a great way to literally rank your website quickly for some awesome traffic. So what do we need to do? What is the blueprint? How do we do this, Rob? This is how we do it. And you're going to see the full details of this playing out in real life. After this, we're going to create a case study and a progress of this. So basically after today, we're going to get to work actually applying this on torontovideoproduction.ca. So how does this work? We create a site using the domain. We're going to add relevant content that speaks to the problems we will be solving for our ideal clients. We're going to go into detail about the consequences our clients face as a result of not using our services. We're going to show them how, and this shows them how we really understand the position they're in, the business they're in, and create value before the fact, before they even decide to use our services. So we're going to speak to the consequences they're facing. We're going to create trust by adding in reviews and other content specific to referrals and reviews, and show examples of past work. We're going to add a video that speaks to the problems and how we are going to solve these problems for this ideal client. We're going to add call to actions so that the ideal client can find what they're looking for quickly on the page. In this case, it's going to be a phone number to call us or a form fill. So yeah, we're going to add a video that speaks to the problems and how we're going to resolve the problems for them. We're going to add a call to action so that the users can find what they're looking for very easily. For example, a phone number to call us or a form to be filled out. The form that they're going to fill out is going to include the critical information like name, email, phone number, and then something along the lines of, yes, I'd like a quote for video production, or something more specific. And then the hard work begins. We're going to start building links. This is the off-page work that we talked about that takes the most effort. It's the most tedious. And it's literally the hardest part of SEO. So we start the link building only from authority sites that are relevant to this industry. So we don't want to link a Toronto plumber site to our Toronto videoproduction.ca site. There's no relevancy there unless we created an amazing video for them, and then maybe we could reference that back. But it has to be relevant or related in somehow. And then the intention here is to get ranked within 3 months' time. That's right, 3 months or less. So, conclusion. After all of this, everything you've heard, I'm going to break it down to one simple conclusion for you that's honest and raw. This is after 19 years of doing this day in and day out. Conclusion is SEO is not easy. Yeah, it's probably not what you were looking for, but it's the truth. Anybody that tells you SEO is easy, they're lying. It's not easy. It's a long-term strategy. There's a lot of different moving parts, and it requires a long-term commitment regardless. There's so many obstacles you will have to overcome, but in the end, if you decide to commit, you will get there, and this will deliver you the best traffic ever. SEO, you'll get 70% of all search results, and the higher you are, if you're ranked number 1 organically, you can expect a 34% click-through rate. So just imagine that. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about today. So I can't stress the importance of making a commitment that's long-term, or else don't waste your time. Follow us through this journey, and I'd love to know your feedback. If you want us to help you with your SEO or set anything like this up, contact me anytime at The Best Media. I'm Rob Pacinelli. Visit thebestmedia.com. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment, follow. See you next time. See ya.